I'm glad that works as seamlessly as I wanted it to. Eight hours in to Extra Life 2017, benefiting the UC Davis Children's Hospital. I'm using a mouse. Before I do that, let's see. Is there anything since Scrubs? Just the anonymous who donated 2601 saying NAC2 #platinum. And again, that is #platinum or stone for picking which of these I put on. I'll probably play some anime bullshit while I do that. Let's play this one. How do you play this? Okay, we're gonna play this game. Oh. Okay, that's just with the mouse. No! Fuck. I need more mouse space. What are you making over there?
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. Huh? If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home,
yeah, it
and you have to
like
go
vinegar.
back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes.
Oh, the game is loud? Okay. Sorry. That's still pretty loud.
game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002 titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazzer, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
This is, yeah, I might have to get up in a second and open the windows.
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
It wouldn't have been so bad without him telling me that. Fuck, that house is really difficult. Okay, I need to not use the mouse pad, just because I feel like I'm...
Oof, sorry about that.
I might be getting close to done with this. No,
You can hit the escape key to change the mouse sensitivity.
Thank you, Anonymous. What'd you say?
What's up?
Somebody just donated over $50. and that's why it made the sound. Okay, I'm gonna try and get up there one more time, and then we'll dwarf.
Hello.
Hello.
I tried to count down alongside it, but it muted me.
I got up there once, and it was the best feeling in the world.
Mikey, is this game fun? Is it even worth trying?
It's a little bit fun. Okay, but I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna open Windows. And then we're gonna do some dwarfing. Oh, that's not even olives.
No.
I couldn't recognize it. Olives, get in here.
Dude, Mikey, you're missing out on some awful PAX wrestling.
Missing out?
No, you're not. It's worse than normal though.
Okay, I need to do some stuff. I'll be right back.
I didn't realize there was anything going on with that at the moment.
Yeah, so they got the main stage at PAX Australia,
That sounds like a bad idea.
and it took them 45 minutes to go through all the people, and then they had to restart the game like twice because the 64 locked up.
Nice.
He might be. He joined the channel.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Olives.
Is that working?
So before we get into this, how much understanding do you have of Dwarf Fortress thus far? I said before we get started, like, how much do you know about Dwarf Fortress, just anyway? Okay, is that all you know?
That's literally all I know.
Okay, that's good.
This will go very well.
Great.
So this does have the advantage that you don't have any bad ideas. Bad ideas
played,
are the enemy.
Dungeon Keeper?
Nope.
Okay. Have you played The Sims?
No.
Oh, well.
Oh, yes, I played The Sims.
Okay. You're about 10% of the way there.
Great.
Dwarf Fortress is not on Twitch.
It should be. It definitely should be.
Totally should be.
It is. It might be one of those weird things. It might be under Slaves to Armok 2.
Yes.
Yes. There you are.
So
That's the full title.
Is,
Yeah.
Yes,
So here's
because this is the sequel to another game that has absolutely nothing to do with this game.
Which you can't get anymore. But yeah.
Can you not?
there's Adventure Mode. Adventure Mode is the sequel to Slaves to Armok.
Vaguely.
Vaguely. So here's a bit of funny trivia. I actually got taught math in college by Tarn Adams.
Wow.
That sounds like that would have been. Was that fun? Was that crazy?
He was a really good teacher, but like he would show up like super disheveled, like half awake, with like a coffee stain on his shirt, and he'd be like popping. He'd be eating like espresso beans, like chocolate covered espresso beans, in the middle of class.
Although those are pretty good.
And like but he was super intense, and then he like randomly quit to go work full time on Dwarf Fortress. And now this is like his magnum opus with him and his brother.
I mean, it sounds like he knows how to live. He got it. He's got it. I
don't know.
I
would read some articles about him because it seems like he's not very much living.
Yeah, he lives for this game basically.
He has fun. I think. I don't know. I hope so.
I mean, he seems to be in some ways happy with his position, so I hope that he is. Anyway, should we get started?
Just one sec. I'm just posting in the stream thread on SA real quick, since it's been 8 hours since last time I did that. Dwarf Fortress might be something that gets people in.
Dwarf Fortress is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Always enjoyable to watch a Dwarf Fortress.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see the settings thing.
Yes.
So what should I have for settings here?
It's all set up already. I think the only thing you need to change is under advanced the resolution, whichever you want to stream at.
I did that.
Okay, then you're done. At the bottom, you just click Play Dwarf Fortress.
Okay.
And then we will embark on this adventure together.
Okay.
This is also my first time playing Dwarf Fortress, or at least watching someone play.
So
Okay. Oh, this will be very fun.
Cause like I know like the game. I've seen someone play it. It just looked like moon language to me, like the Matrix.
yeah, so the game is a lot simpler than people make out. The issue is that the interface wasn't designed. It was just kind of pooped out as stuff got added in. So there's this big barrier of like figuring out how to do the basic actions. But once you understand it, the game itself is actually relatively simple to like work your way through.
Okay, so
Yes.
start playing, create new world, what?
I already made a world for you in case it goes bad, but let's do create new world. It might as well witness the whole creation, and then you can have a little bit of your own touch on.
What the hell was that?
Don't worry about that. Just a bunch of
Okay.
letters, right?
Yeah.
It's all good. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, nothing at all to worry about.
So you control this with the arrow keys.
Okay.
Right, up, down. And you can choose. You don't need to change any of this unless you want to. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing that is most important are world size and history here. This is the map that we will be playing on.
Okay.
Smaller will generate faster. But there'll be less things, history,
So
time. So
you
choose what
can
feel comfortable with.
you can also tweak some of the other settings to make the game easier on yourself. I wouldn't recommend doing that though, because almost every world will have plenty of easy sites that you can start in.
Let's just go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus.
So this is the world map. Big oceans. The gray bits of the mountains. Green
Okay.
is the forests.
Is that what the game is?
Jungles.
Yeah, there we go. This is what the game is.
You serious?
Yep.
So don't worry, it gets even more like weird looking later.
Generating time. It's generating history. Events.
so this is-
items.
This does some really cool stuff in terms of generating like the history of different civilizations and how they interacted with one another.
This is going at
so,
1 frame
like-
per second.
Oh, that's normal.
Yes, that's perfectly normal. That's how this bit runs.
Okay.
I mean, if you look, it's generating. Look how many different historical figures are like being generated and dying. How many events are happening?
At
It's
what
doing
point
quite
is
a
it
lot
done
in the
gen-
background.
At how long is it going to generate? How much time is it going to make for me?
250 years by default, I believe. But you can end it prematurely if you wish.
No. I mean, might as well get the full experience.
If it's Age of Myth, if all of the mythical beasts were to die, it would become something else. Maybe we'll see that. Probably won't. Probably won't see that.
So what
Yeah,
does it
so
mean
Tar-
to rejected up there?
It wasn't good enough for the algorithm that they wrote for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the algorithm, if it hits a state that it doesn't think that the world is like advancing in a way that makes sense, it rolls back and then tries again.
So Tarn and his brother are way into lore, and this game basically has like every microcosm has lore.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll check out Legends mode before we actually make the fortress.
I love Legends mode. Legends mode is very good.
Legends mode is one of the reasons this game is as incredible as it is.
0 frames per second.
That's good. That's healthy. That means it's going as fast as it can. It doesn't frequently crash on the screen, so that's good. Do you have any goals for your dwarfs? Do you plan to have a
Con-
big statue or like big library? Just, try to picture something you'd like your dwarves to do. That would
Big
be fun.
library doesn't sound bad.
Everyone likes books.
There's a dog here.
Dogs are good. Dogs are very good.
Especially if he doesn't pull my wires, which he is. He is doing the wire pulling, which is not a good. Well, it is frozen at... Oh, no, it's not.
It's going very slowly. You could end it if you
Yeah.
wanted to. I do have a world that I already generated for you.
I'd maybe say end this one, have a look at the world that it's generated it, and then maybe try out the one that Oliver's pre-made for you, because this is maybe running a bit slower than it usually does.
Yeah, probably because of the streaming.
Yeah. It's very CPU bound, so if you're using your CPU to encode the video as well.
Okay, use the world as it currently exists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now it just lets you
Go around, looks like.
go around and look and see what's what on the map, so you can see like what the cities are called and like what regions there are.
You can
All
use
A lot of
the
them-
poised. Huh?
A lot.
Okay, what do I do now?
Just press enter for this. Get past this.
Yep.
It's just fun to look at the world sometimes. The dignified plains of sockets I'm seeing on your screen there.
Oh, we should live in the Pure Hills. That's a cool place name.
That's gonna be like an Iceland thing. Probably not great though.
I didn't actually see what the terrain type was. I just saw the name.
Okay.
— 650 frames per second.
That's good.
So since you guys are on a big delay, you're kind of going to have to preemptively tell me stuff, or else it's going to take a long time.
I've got the world loaded up, and I'm doing the same things,
Okay.
so it should be at least slightly better. Although my thing is going slow right now.
Okay. It stopped responding for a second.
Yeah, it sometimes does that. Don't worry unless it stays that way for a little while. Okay, so are you back to the menu now?
Yep.
Alright, so if you do continue playing, you should be able to
This one?
load up the other world. Yes. Test worlds.
Gibdeton?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Play that now. I'm not used to this Dwarf Fortress hack interface stuff. I've not used Dwarf Fortress hack. Oh, this is just right into the game. Okay. I didn't realize I saved it. in the game.
that said that was a saved fortress.
Okay. In that case, I would suggest replacing escape and just do abandon the fortress to ruin.
Okay.
We can start our own fortress. Cooler one. Plus that guy's stuck in a tree. It's not great. The place isn't going great. I thought I'd sent you a world that did not have a... Okay.
Start playing?
Yes, and then here's a bunch of worlds here. Backup world, I think is... Backup world is, I think...
They're neural.
Yeah, that one. And then these are the three modes. If you'd like to jump into Legends, you'll see the history of the entire world.
Okay. And it's all randomly generated history?
It's all randomly generated.
Mm-hmm. And that lets you have a look and find out, like, stuff about the different civilizations and characters that have existed in your world that can affect things in the game when you play it.
Like the Age of Rock and Hill Titan.
I want to see this untitled artifact. Untitled, legendary black, pyro-bound codex. Written portion consists of 6-page untitled letter. Authored by Saw Tired Straws. The work has no particular subject. The writing is fairly cheerful. Overall, the prose is not awful, but not very good. In mid-spring of 56, Untitled was created by Labored Speak by the human, blah blah blah. It was lost in 105.
Maybe not the most exciting artifact.
No, I just like the
Someone
name.
found it special.
If you ever skim through, some of them will have very long histories of like being stolen and then like given as gifts and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Here's one for Gob. The Goblin and Beyond.
What is
Legendary
Beyond Problem?
Drunian parchment scroll written on. The item is an essay entitled The Goblin and Beyond, authored by Nako Squeezed-Hated. It concerns the giving up on being a fishery worker of the goblin Nako Squeeze-Hated in Maligned Weavers in 44. The writing is completely serious. Overall, the prose is not awful, but not very... There's a lot of that.
Well, it's hard to be the best writer when there's only been 44 years of existence.
I guess.
So one of the artifacts of this world is just a book about a goblin who doesn't want to be a fish cleaner anymore.
It's the Shakespeare of its time.
Yeah. But yes, you can also look at there's some interesting characters probably as a fun place to look.
These are some names.
Yeah, the names are very randomly generated.
These are extremely randomly generated. A lot of these guys are still alive.
Yes.
You can fix that if you were inclined.
As previously stated, this world isn't particularly old, I don't think, so...
Okay, let's get into the game.
Okay, so if you go back and select Fortress mode instead then.
Okay.
Dwarf Fortress, yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
yes. This is the part where you choose where you want your fortress to be. Now, don't be too lost. 3 maps, different zoom levels, right?
Yeah. Although region and world seem to be the same.
No, so it is weird how much. What's going on with that?
It's a very small world, so
Okay,
yeah.
it's because it's minimum size. Okay.
it's a very small.
This the pocket world?
I think so. I wanted smaller worlds tendingly run faster, so.
Okay, so what am I doing? I like there's a legend over there. That's nice. A little bit of a legend.
Yeah. Just find some nice hills that you think would be interesting place to live.
What is a hill?
So the green parts of forests, So anywhere
So-
around there.
Generally, my suggestion would be to look for a river or a lake that's near some grey stuff. Grey stuff are like mountains. And then if you can find a bit that crosses over with a little bit of mountain, a little bit of tree cover, and then a little bit of the river, that's absolutely perfect.
Like this N right here, between the gray omega and the brown N.
The Grey Omega is already an existing town, I think, or an existing
Yeah,
site.
that's
the
that's
blue-
people live there. So, it's if you go like a little bit outside of them, you might be perfectly fine. But sometimes it means that if they don't like you, they will just send army after you.
What's the gray gray pentagon?
Great.
Oh, that's mountain area.
Yes.
If you mean the little triangle ones, yeah.
So you move where you want to be on the region map with the arrow key, but you move where you want your fortress to be on the local map with U, H, K, and M.
And then if you hold down Shift and press those keys, you can resize the area to like make it a different shape if you want to try and like get some river and stuff in there.
UMKH.
Yes. So you can choose where exactly on the local map you'd like.
Is
Okay,
like
so
is like this good? Do you think? I'm by a gray omega, on one of the
Yeah.
maps.
yeah, so if you look in the local map, what you can see is that line there is the edge of a big fortress. So you would literally be like moving in next to whoever lives there.
That seems bad.
I would say move more to the west coast, or maybe perhaps south a little bit.
What is this gray, yellow eye box?
Um,
That's just sand, right?
I think that's a dark fortress full of goblins and people who'd like to kill you.
Okay,
If
so
that's-
don't want to move there.
Yeah.
What is this hashtag fortress looking thing?
Um.
To name something.
Oh. You know what? I think that might be dark. I can't remember. It's not important. Just don't live there. Maybe don't live on top of someone else.
Yeah, you probably just want to find somewhere empty-ish. If you can't find anywhere with like mountainy bits, you can dig down. It's fine as long as it doesn't have an aquifer.
There are no aquifers. I disabled them.
Oh, you disabled aquifer. Oh, perfect. You've got easy mode, then that's fine. So anywhere that's got lots of trees and a river is probably going to be all right. On the right, you've got some stuff about like what materials are available there. If it's got flux and metal, that's great. If it doesn't, you can buy that stuff off traders. It's not ideal, but for your first fortress, it's probably not going to matter too much. So just pick an area that you think looks all right, and we'll go with that.
That's a little too much water, maybe. But well, actually, it's gonna be like 30 seconds behind. I don't know what you're actually looking at. You could basically, if you got some metal and you got some is not on fire,
This
you're good
is-
to go.
This doesn't look bad. I got flux, deep metal, very deep soil, clay, and sand.
That looks good. That looks
Oh,
good.
but also it's
Yeah.
temperature scorching.
So if you go to the south end of this local area, so you've got a little bit of that river, and I think that area down there was temperate or moderate.
What if I go?
Sorry, it's a bit behind, so it's a bit hard to judge.
I got hot.
Hot will probably be fine.
If you go to the Gray Zero on the northeast coast of the mainland, around there is some pretty good metal, pretty good. Got fluxstone, deep metal, deep soil, which is good for planting.
What does this mean? Stream violence focused.
Oh, that's just what it's called. That's the name
Okay.
of the stream.
Yeah, everything has a generated name, so like all the rivers have those sorts of names.
So how about like at the crux of this river, getting a little bit of the north, a little bit of the east in there?
That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
It's still hot, but
Hot's fine.
okay.
It just means winter, the lake won't freeze over, which is probably better for you anyway.
Okay, so
When I say lake, I mean river.
how do I set this down?
It is
R or E?
E to embark. And this is the fun part where you get to choose what you take on your adventure.
I've selected
made
a
one
large
for you.
area. Is this area fine?
Bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of
Olives,
prefabs.
speedy start.
You could do that one. Or you could prepare for your journey carefully.
What'd you say? What do we got in here? Oh, nope. That's...
Yeah, just choose a speedy start. Sorry about that. I was doing something.
How do I
Okay.
go back now that I've been in here? Can I?
You want to go back to what? To choose the other ones?
To the prefabs.
I don't think you can from here.
Okay, so I guess
it
tell me
doesn't
what to pick.
It should have all the stuff, all the points spent. I've upgraded all your...
No, so he didn't
press
pick
tab.
this. He didn't pick the speedy one. He went through without that, and I've
deal.
never used that interface thing, that whatever that is.
In that case, I mean, you could just abort the game. I think there's a way to do this one.
I can get back here quickly.
Okay.
Now that I know.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you want
just
to do
abort
that,
the game.
and then you can get Olive's little preset dwarf loadout or whatever, so that you don't have to like do all the nitty gritty work.
Although I haven't named any of your dwarves, so if you want to do that.
That's a very important section. You've got to name every dwarf, at least for your starting expedition.
Okay, use Olive's speedy start. Embark preparations were not completed. It looks like they were. Maybe?
If you press P, it'll tell you the problems. Maybe some foods weren't available.
No lungfish available.
Okay, so you know how we were saying about the history thing? That means that in this particular world, lungfish isn't available to your people. It's just not a thing that they fish for.
Okay.
So all you've got to do is go into the fish section and cancel that out and bring something else instead.
If you press tab, it'll go from the items to the dwarves, and you've got 150 points to spend, which you will spend on fish. But now that those fish don't exist, I don't know. You'll need more food. You could just go for and select more.
You could bring some kittens or something. Kittens are fun.
I think I got 2 cats. What have we got inside? 6 dogs.
Add a puppy. How do I do that? Just add? Plus?
Yeah,
Yes,
plus and
plus and
minus to add and remove.
I'm just going to get some of all of the dogs that I can get.
Okay, so an important thing to know is that much like everything else, animals are simulated in all sorts of weird ways. So having lots of animals does actually slow the game down.
Oh.
Because it's more things to think about. That's why people have the meme joke about 2 cats, because they will breed and make more cats and slowly clog up your fortress with more and more cats.
Also, you have no food at all.
Well. Where do I get food?
So you're gonna need some more points. Actually, you probably have enough. If you go and you press plus, not plus, which is N for new, and that'll bring you to a list of things. Just go for some meat or some fish. They're all 2 points, and then you just select one of those. Right on the arrow key, go into the menu, and then just select one.
And just add a bunch of it?
Just choose one, and then whichever you prefer, the taste you think, the pawn total, perhaps.
It's generally a good idea to bring a couple of things, just 1 or 2 of them, because anything you buy, this used to be the case, I don't actually 100% know if this is still true, comes in a barrel. So as they eat the stuff, you then end up with empty barrels.
That does
I
still
assume
happen.
that's still the case, yeah. So
have
bring
some-
bring a selection. Keep your dwarves happy. Give them a variety of meats.
I wanted to punish Mikey by bringing one back.
Bring a bunch of prepared yak eyes. Those sound delicious.
So you've got, just one meal for each of those. So you could go and select like a whole bunch, or you can bring like 10. I'd recommend at least 40 food items. So
You should get a farm up and running fairly quickly, but it's always good to have backup food.
plus you're in a temperate zone. There's probably fruit all over the place. You'll be okay on food probably.
Yeah, but if that means these dwarves have got to go above ground to gather, that's gross.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Got a lot of food.
You're pretty good on food. If you press tab, you'll see your dwarves, and you can look at what skills I've given them.
Adequate miner, not carpenter.
Yeah, it's not a carpenter. You've got a carpenter in this somewhere. You got 2 of them, I think. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've
From
got
here-
some skilled carpenters. Yeah. Okay.
If you press V, it'll show you the stats on that dwarf,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and you can scroll. You can scroll that if you need to. So it's a lot of text there. Maybe don't need to read it all.
Yeah.
But if you had a particular dwarf you liked, you could definitely peruse their personality and appearance and hobbies, I guess. But you can also customize them. If you go back to the other one and press C, give them a nickname, which you might want to name all your dwarves. That's fun.
I always find it fun to name all the dwarves after people you know, and then see what happens to them, and that's always fun. It's like The Sims. It's also fun to sometimes set profession names for people that help you keep track of what they are.
Although
so
if you
that
don't
they
do that, when
Sorry,
you
what
need to
is
get into game, they will give them the miner will have the mine on him. The highest skill basically gives them that.
Yeah, so it's probably a good idea not to give them jokey names for the profession.
Well, too
more
late
just
for
things
one of them.
like more like things. If you've got a guy who, for instance, is a wood gatherer and a carpenter, then calling him like woodworker, so that like, okay, that guy's dealing with all the wood stuff. Rather than him just ending up with, oh, well, his highest level skill is carpentry, so he's the carpenter, but he's also a wood gatherer.
Let's see
So
what an
Bryn
olive.
is the
Let's see what an olive lover is. A doctor. Loves them body olives.
nothing like him.
What part of a human is the olives?
You don't want to know. It's also
takes-
not humans, they're dwarves.
That's the same bits.
You don't know that. Let's see, who's in chat right now I can see? I see a Gabo there. I see a Sarapole. Who else is around? We got Sendo's up there a little bit. I don't know if he's still watching, but... And we got a Doter. Okay.
All right, it looks pretty good. You've done your things there. You can just press E to embark now. You've got all your food. You've spent all your points.
Competent brewer. I Sendo is
Nice.
what? Jeweler?
They're a crafts dwarf, it looks like. What else have they got? Mechanics and...
I prepared this like a month ago at this point, so I don't remember what any of the dwarves actually.
I don't know. Mikey's... Obviously the streams are like a little bit behind, so I can't actually see what other skills they've got.
Builder.
Again, they will get automated ones if you just leave them. It's just if you want to like
Okay.
keep track of things that are in a way that makes sense to you.
Okay, so embark then?
Yeah.
Yes, whenever you're ready. And then be prepared.
So I like how
Please don't
you
crash.
called your generic kitchen guy who just does all the kitchen stuff. You called him a drunk. All dwarves are drunk. That's kind of the point.
He's
If they're
extra
not, they're
drunk.
unhappy.
You've arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your heart's trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Shorastamug. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook, to provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it's spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings, ere the dingoes get hungry, okay. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. A beer's an egg. Roman Carolex strike the earth.
Oh yeah, I forgot the name of the fortress. Oh well. It's Romance Relics. That sounds fun. So this is the game. So there's a kind of a map on the right. There's a hotkey list on next to that one in the middle, and then the actual game part. If you press space, game is paused, which is good for not dying. Tab will cycle through the. If you want to make map go away, or if you want to make the other thing go away, you want to make it bigger. So just take a second to look at your dwarves. So there's that wagon. That's where all your goods are. That kind of brown cube where all your dwarves are. Otherwise, it's all just grass, and there's circle things or tree trunks.
Okay.
So, sorry, I just want to butt in and just say, if you just press K, that will go into look mode, which will put a little cross on the screen and tell you whatever you're hovering over, what it is. So if you're having a little look around and just seeing what's what, then being in that mode lets you figure out oh, that little symbol is supposed to be a bush, or that's a strawberry bush. I assume, is that maybe?
Stray
that's
one-humped camel. Stray puppy. Yeah,
So they're all the animals will currently be marked as stray because they've not adopted a dwarf yet. They'll partner up with a dwarf at some point, and then it'll change to being that person's puppy or that person's dog or whatever.
Okay. So what do I do now?
So you'd want to move your dwarves and the items indoors, away from wild birds, and the like.
And the sun. Dwarves don't like the sun.
Yeah, the sun
It's
is
gross.
on. Who likes being outside? No one. So you don't want to be outside. So to dig, D is the shortcut that will bring up the. We kind of have it's the
Designation.
Yes.
So designations are generic jobs that you assign to an area. For instance, mining out an area, or cutting down trees, or gathering berries in an area. So if you press D and then D again, I believe it is, you can mine or dig, I think is what the shortcut originally was. And then that lets you draw on that little section on the left what you want dug out. So probably the first thing you want to do is make a little corridor and an interior room, just so you've got something for your dwarves to go inside.
Yeah. Okay. So how do I do this?
So with the arrow keys, you move your little yellow marker around.
Okay.
And if you press enter, it'll kind of start selecting the box, and you move it in a direction. Press enter again, it'll make that the whole box. So you can do a 5x5, whatever you want. I don't know. You can make it look pretty.
You might also have mouse control on this bit.
You might have mouse control.
I know in some versions do. I don't know which. Make sure that connects to the outside, by the way. I think you've got a block of solid there between things.
Okay. I just need to make a border, right?
No.
No.
Fill it inside.
So
Okay,
if you select like the top left and bottom right or whatever of the area you want dug out,
Oh,
and then
Got
it
it.
auto generates the box for you. Yeah.
and now done, right? Escape.
Yeah.
And now I should probably unpause it.
Yes. And then your miner will dig out that bit of dirt there.
So it's also probably a good idea to designate an area to start gathering berries and stuff. I believe it's gather plants on T. And then someone will go around and pick berries and other bits of like local fruit and stuff, which just supplements your food early on.
Gather plants is P.
P for plant, sorry, yeah, that makes sense. What's T? Is that cut down? No, C is
It
cut
is.
down trees, isn't
T
it?
is trees.
Oh, T is trees. What's C?
Which you'll want to do that as well. You do want to cut down some trees. Trees are good to cut down,
Unless you're trying to make friends with elves.
which you don't ever want to. So trees are good.
So here's the thing you need to know about elves in this game. Elves are, like, no joke, the worst people.
It's like real elves.
I'm not finding any berries or anything. Oh, there are some berries.
So if you just select a big area, it'll automatically, like, same with the digging, you select, like, 2 corners and it'll select the whole area for you.
Imagine it as a big selection box. You can just do if you press and hold shift and move in like in a direction, it'll go much faster. And then
I
you
wouldn't
just-
select too big an area just because you don't want your dwarves wandering off. I don't know what else lives around here.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But you do want to cut down some trees. Also good to know, this is not a 2D game. If you press and hold shift and press the brackets on your keyboard, you'll go up or down the Z levels. If you go up, you'll see the tops of the trees, you'll see more tree trunks, you'll see some sky eventually. If you go down, you'll see the pool of water near you, to your north, the sevens. Kind of see that pond there. If you go down, you'd see more tunnels you've dug, but you haven't done dug any yet. So
I'm doing shift, but do I have to be in designations to do it?
no, just normal map moving mode. Press and hold shift, and then press the not the brackets, the greater than, less than, the comma period, that one.
Oh,
I was about to say, what's this weird key bindings you've given him?
Yeah, that's normal. That's how it goes. Yeah, there you go. You're going up above the trees.
Looking into the sky.
Yeah. All the birds above you that you cannot see, just waiting to come down and kill you.
Or eat your food.
Yeah, I've had bad days where they just eat all of them at once.
So if you hit is it V for generic stuff? I can't remember. There's a way of viewing like what your dwarves have spotted in terms of animals and things.
V is to look at units specifically.
Okay, what's the one for the generic like entity list?
Q is if you want to look at like buildings, like a wagon. No.
There is a way of getting an entity list. I just don't remember what it is. I haven't played in a while.
So let's see. You got your tunnel dug out, which is good. I would say maybe dig some staircase down, and then start digging down a little bit into the dirt. Just for aesthetic reasons, maybe. I don't know. Then you don't have to worry about looking at too much at one time.
downstairs.
Get away from the sun. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, you got the hang of it already. Look at that. So you just need downstairs, and then below it you need an upstairs, and then good to go.
one suggestion: you can create up/downstairs, which allow you to go multiple levels. Probably not a good idea to do that too often, because if someone falls down those stairs, they will keep tumbling all the way to the bottom. This can lead to some bad things if that happens to one of your like favorite guys.
Do I need to make somebody gather all these logs?
They'll do that later when you build some stockpiles. If you
So
want,
at
you could put a stockpile around somewhere.
Yeah, so at the moment you don't have anywhere designated as a stockpile area. So even though that stuff is valid, that the dwarves can use it, they don't have anywhere specific to put it. So if you tell them to do something that uses that material, they will just grab the nearest piece, be that in the wagon or like 5 miles down the road. It's not the most convenient sometimes, which is why you should build a stockpile area soonish. But we'll get to that in a minute.
This can maybe be a stockpile. Let's see what it does.
Alright, pretty cool. So if you want to use that wood to make things, you'll have to build a workshop, which you can access by the build menu. So that's B to get to the build menu.
Okay.
Bring up my thing, and then it's kind of a lot of stuff here. There's actually two pages if you scroll with the up and the minus and plus.
1 second.
Sure.
I wanna make space for a workshop here.
The workshops will be 3x3 by side, just for the reference.
1, 2. Okay, so building.
And then W is the shortcut, but you can also just use the just find it and press enter, although that might be more difficult. So just the W is the easiest. And then on this one, lumber mill, carpenter's workshop. Yeah, it's C. There we go. Put that somewhere. And then it'll ask you what materials you want to make it out of, and
I need to dig out where I want first.
Sure. I'm just kind of guessing at what you're doing because of the delay. So
Building. WC.
Okay, so just to point out, by the way, the two things you've just done with the designation and the building are how you do 90% of the stuff in this game.
Okay. How do I make a stockpile zone?
So if you go and press P, it'll have a bunch of different lists on the side there. P is just to make the stockpile. And then you want presumably wood. You can do it with anything, but and then you just kind of select it like you would a room, so you can have your wood stockpile next to your carpenter's workshop, and then people will move wood there whenever they get the chance.
Okay. Looks like
There you
that's happening.
Okay, so yep.
And then, okay, your carpenter is finished working on the carpenter's workshop. Great. If you press Q, this is the building selector button. You can then mouse over the workshop. Press A, and you can choose a bunch of things to build. Kind of a lot. I'd recommend doors. Doors are cool. Chairs and tables, also nice to have a dining room. Dwarves like to eat on a table as opposed to the floor.
It's probably a good idea to start building some beds as well, so you can start putting together like a little area for all your dwarves to sleep, because if they sleep outside in the sun, they get very unhappy and generally quite ill.
Yes.
It's also possible when designating areas to designate an area as a meeting hall, which is where all the animals and dwarves who aren't currently doing anything will sort of congregate. And then if you put nice things there, like nice chairs and tables, they'll feel quite happy that they've got a nice place to chill. It's like giving them a nice little break room.
Yeah, like, the Sims, they're like the high comfort chairs,
Dwarves will also gain happiness from seeing things like fountains or lava. So once you get really fancy, you can start building like nice water features and big pools of lava near where they like to hang out. That sort of entertain them and keep them happy in the same way.
What is this green X that's just sitting here?
That is probably your mouse cursor, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So I chose the same starting location of you, so I've got the exact same map, same creatures that should spawn here. There's hippos, so watch out for those. Might want to build some walls, so you can hide from the hippos. That would be a building. There'd be building and then just struction. No, there's a capital C, so it'd be B, capital C, and then W for wall, and then you can kind of stretch the placement with UK M, then build like a nice little wall just to protect you guys from any dangerous hazards. Although goblins can climb over walls, but hippos cannot.
I'll also point out those little triangles. Those are the fact that area slopes upwards, so things can climb down from above you.
Yes, very true. If there's a giant waiting up there, he will just walk down those hills and eat you very quickly.
You might want to use those walls to build like a nice little interior type wall, and then put a door in there, and then all your doors can go inside and lock the door, and that'll keep some things out. Obviously, it won't keep out things that can smash through a door, but like a hippo generally won't just come charging in.
I need another wall for up, down.
Yes, and then don't forget to have a space for a door.
How big are doors?
One tile. I mean, you can make a 2-tile door if you want, or you can make it as long as you wanted. But the minimum is 1 space.
And then where are doors?
So a carpenter needs to make a door.
Need to make a door.
So if you go to the guy in the queue to select his workshop and then order a new, and then I believe it's leave a door.
Let's see, how do I select the building again?
Q.
Q.
You can think of it as the option to queue up commands for workshops.
Oh.
Yes.
Suspend that. Add new task.
So rather than suspending things, you can also just add a task and then promote it. And if it's at the top of the list, it's the thing they do first.
I also don't know how many beds he's made.
Probably just 1 if you only told him to make 1.
I told him to repeat it so that there's beds for multiple people.
Okay, then I don't know.
I would tell you to check the ledger, but we haven't got a ledger yet because no one has been given the job of being sort of the manager of this place yet.
If you press T, it'll bring up the God, I don't know what that's called, but you can look at the workshop with T, and then it'll tell you what's in the workshop's inventory.
1 bed.
1 bed. You made 1 bed.
Hi, Ollie.
You can also try building beds, and then that'll bring up a list of what beds he's got there. So he's probably only got the 1. So those little stars next to it indicate that it's a. Is that a moderately good bed? I can't remember what the designations are. High quality.
Like decent. Very loose.
Stars and pluses and things next to it means that it's better than generic average. So that's good. Dwarves will get happy if they've got a nice bed to sleep in.
All right. And you definitely do have to get rid of those ramps next to your, at least on the inner side of your walls, because otherwise your walls don't do a lot.
On the inner side?
So
yeah.
those little triangles that are inside are slopes up to the ground above your dwarf fortress. So at the moment, things can walk up one slope, around your wall, and then back down the other side.
So how do I get rid of that? Do I mine it out or what?
With D, and then it would be remove up ramps / stairs with Z, and then you can select the ramps, and they'll mine them out. Yeah. And then you'll be safe.
I'm just going to pop away for a moment.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. What else? What else? So, good thing to get your dwarves started on. Place to sleep, like a dormitory, before you build them all individual rooms. Place to eat, place to store food, and a farm to make more food. Just I would say dig them out. Have at least have some plans, and just make space for them. It doesn't matter how big they are. And then your miner will mine that while all the other work is getting done.
Green.
Alright.
Hmm.
Your dwarves are working hard. Well, one of them is. You got 6 idlers if you look in the top right-hand corner. Those are the guys who have nothing to do. You could set more trees to be cut down. You could put more queues, use some more stuff up in the carpenter's workshop. Otherwise, the beginning of the game is relatively slow. You kind of wait for you guys to do all the stuff you want them to do.
Gather. Plant.
You could also put some more stockpiles inside your fortress, so people will move more items. Like food.
And that's building. No.
It's P for pile. And
P.
then you would food. F for food. And then you put that down wherever you want. They'll move all the food off of your wagon, and they will take all the berries, and they will try to put that in any spare barrels or bags, which later you can build more barrels. Maybe you do have 2 carpenters, so you could have a second carpenter's shop, and you get them both building on stuff if you want. Otherwise, you are now playing the video game.
Hmm? I thought we were sharing.
I told you the rest was yours.
Oh, I don't remember you saying that.
Because I get the Pokemon.
Okay. Hmm? After this, I'll hook Kirby up for you.
Okay.
I've made a fort. What are these dogs doing? There's a cat.
Okay, so I'm back. The dogs and cats are just gonna hang out, basically. Cats will chase after, like, vermin and stuff.
Cats are great because they eat rats, which will eat your food if you don't have them eaten first.
Like I say, which is why you probably want to set up, like, a meeting hall area, so that they aren't just sort of hanging around in the doorway.
also true.
What are these 7s up here?
That is
Water.
water. It is 7 units of 7 units of water, so it's like a full tile of water. If it was 1, it'd be like a puddle. It's like 3, it'd be like, knee high. 7 is all of the water.
So
You
I
could drown in that.
probably don't want to get over there yet then.
Nah. It's not a lot of water there anyway. It would all just spill out and probably evaporate quickly.
Well, it's underground.
Yeah, so if you tunneled into that water would come flooding out, and it would probably just spread over 7 tiles and just be 1 deep. So it'd probably not be a big issue. But at the same time, your dwarves don't have any swimming skill, so they probably don't like water very much.
I think I gave one of the dwarves a swimming skill.
Do you want some
Okay.
apple dog?
Might have been fisherman. I think there's a fisherman.
Oliver, your
That's
eye
probably a good
has
idea, just in case he falls in.
your eye is all pupil, dog.
So I missed the discussion about this downstairs room. Is this for a farm?
It looks
Huh?
nicer. I don't know. It's just something to get him to do, so just to get used to sea
I was
levels.
going to say because it's a soil floor down there, isn't it?
Yes, it is all soil. I think it's a couple tiles of soil. A couple
Yeah, same.
layers.
So that'll be a perfect place to start a little farm and start growing some plump helmets.
Okay, so how do I build a kitchen and a meeting area and a dorm and stuff?
So, if you've got a little place you'd like to cordon off for that, let's start with dorm. You'd put B for build, and then B for bed, and you'd put a bed down somewhere. Build beds of my own, so remember what the UI looks like for this. Alright. So if you throw down a bed, and then use Q after someone places the bed, someone has to walk over and put it down there, install it.
Okay, there's a bed. An animal has
Alright.
grown to become a stray dog.
Nice. They were a puppy, now they are a dog. So if you use Q, just like you were queuing up stuff in a workshop, you can move over and then press R to make it a room, a bedroom in this case.
Okay.
And then you can use plus and minus to make the size of the room whatever you want it to be. And you press enter. And then it'll give you a bunch of options. Like, is it a dormitory? The moment is no, you press B to make it a dormitory. No, it's a barracks. D for dormitory, yes. And that makes it a public bedroom. Put a couple beds down there. However many you want in that room. And then that's the dormitory.
And then for your meeting area and stuff, if you go back to the main little screen, and you've got the option for I for zones, and then you can define different types of zones. One of them should just be called meeting area or meeting room or something like that. Oh, sorry. You select the area first, and then it pops up. Sorry, I'm getting my UI wrong. It's been a while. Yep, and then you can just press the and keep. Yeah, perfect. So now that will be designated as the hanging out zone.
There they are.
Nice. And now, yeah, your stray animals will hang out over there, all your dwarves. Just people who want to hang out. Gets them inside, which is nice. Outside sucks.
So is this the soil you're talking about? These are tree roots. Where's soil?
It's the green stuff. The stuff that's all green. It's kind of anywhere that you've dug, it's not rock. That's soil.
Okay, so I can build an indoor farm then?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Or should I build that right outdoor here?
No, don't build it outdoors. You want to build indoors. Like I said, doors don't like being outdoors if they can avoid it. So a thing to note is that up in the top right, when you're hovering over a floor, it will tell you what it is. So the ones indoors in your building, it looks like we're made of peat.
So to build a farm, it's B for build and then P for farm plot.
Okay, so I'm gonna dig out a little bit more.
Always be digging. That's what they say.
So the thing to remember as well is that by digging, your dwarf will skill up and get faster at digging. So it is actually kind of always worth just always having people digging stuff and smoothing and engraving and all these jobs that are kind of menial, but it's better that they're doing that than just hanging out.
Yeah, Edward, there is a dog right here. He's actually laying down so I can put on him. Oh, that is a close dog. Should I put some more beds down?
Sure, yeah. You got 7 dwarfs, so 7 beds maybe? Maybe probably less. They're probably
If
all
you-
not going to sleep.
If you stick them in that area that you designated as the dorm, they'll be pre-designated as just part of that dorm, so they can just run over and hop in without worry.
Let's see, so I need to... K? No.
You want to B for build, B for bed.
How do I make beds? I forget.
So Q into the
Q.
workshop, and
Into the
then
workshop.
assign a new task of building a bed.
I need to unsuspend it.
Oh, you've still got some ramps on the inside of your walls, by the way.
Oh,
Someone can still come down now. Yeah, there you go. You're not quite, maybe dragon-proof, but you know, it's a good start.
Once you're a bit more established, you can like build like a little moat and stuff, and at that point, 80% of stuff won't really be a threat to you anymore. You always have to worry of big things, but generic like wildlife and goblins and stuff won't give you too much trouble.
Or inner threats like vampires.
There's no such thing as vampires.
what was the other thing I want to do? I have beds.
Yeah, so you're going to build more beds down in the dormitory so that we've got more spaces for the dwarves to sleep in. And we were also going to build a plot for a farm.
Do I have to have a gap between the beds, or no?
No, they'll walk over each other.
Okay.
It's fine. Dwarves are monstrous creatures. But that's why we love them.
And then Q. You do not need to build more beds. At all, actually. Add new thing. I have a table. I need some chairs.
So, fairly shortly, what we'll do is we'll set up a manager's office.
Okay.
And then once you've given him a table to work on and a chair to sit in and stuff like that, he'll be able to mediate a lot of this busy work for you. And then
Okay.
you'll be able to simply select in a little menu, I want 5 beds. And it will just build 5 beds for you without you having to do any more than that. So probably getting him up and running is a good idea. Okay, should we also build that farm? That's a nice easy thing to do.
Farms are good. Farms are good to get started because crops take a long time. So
I will do that as soon as I get this manager's office.
Okie dokie. So you want to, for the manager, you just want to dig out a room that's like 3 by 3 with like a one tile doorway, so you can have a little bit of peace and quiet.
I kind of like the big blob. Everyone's just kind of like, there's no walls, you know? It's like,
So if you build him some stone walls, I don't know if you've got any stone actually.
yeah, but it's deeper for stone.
I don't think you do. But once you do get stone, you can do things like build them nice engraved walls, and it will tell you like what's engraved on them and all that sort of fancy stuff. It's quite fun.
Well, I don't think you can build engraved walls. I think you have to like engrave natural walls. Unless they
You can smooth and engrave on a built wall, I believe.
Where are you,
If it's stone.
chair?
Chairs would be B and then C for chair.
B. No. C for chair.
That was listed as seat there.
And how do I
Click
sign
on
this
that.
as a manager's room?
So once the items are placed, you would just
I.
wait, and then use Q, like you did the dormitory. You kind of make the room out of the object.
I believe it's made out of the chair.
I think it's the table, but you can just give them both to him, because then he'll use it as a dining room as well, and it's like he's got his own private dining room, you know.
I
Which
put
nice.
the table and the chair down. How do I designate it as a manager's office?
So have the dwarves delivered the table and chair?
Do I need a door too?
It's a nice idea to have a door, but I don't think it's required. So.
You don't need a door, but the items have to be placed first. I think what I'm seeing is just the black silhouette.
Yeah, I haven't built it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need to let them come and deliver them first.
I'll make a door too while I'm at it.
Oh, so it looks like your dude is repeating the order to build tables, which means he won't build the chair ever because it was lower priority. Yeah, so now that that's been placed, you can queue and then go and make one of those a room.
Q, make a room on the table? No. Throne room or study, right?
Ah, yes, that's
Study.
the one you want. You need to study.
And then you decide who you wants to be the bookkeeper. Could be anyone.
And I need to
Someone
assign
who's
it?
Not very useful.
Assign
yes.
chair? Is that correct?
Yes. Assign it to whoever you want to be the bookkeeper, and then you can make that official.
Did you give someone bookkeeping skills and whatnot?
So if you press N for the nobles, it'll bring up a list with like sheriff, broker, bookkeeper, chief medical dwarf, manager. You want to make manager and bookkeeper probably the same people. To just choose whoever you think would be good at that.
Well, you're the one leading, so
Oh, but he's got no relevant skills.
Yeah, no one needs
Why are
medical.
you hiring this skillless so-and-so? He doesn't even have a degree.
no one has skills.
I've got medical skills.
So if you view his thing, it'll tell you what he needs for the job. And I believe that should just be like an office with like a table, chair, and something else.
Okay, so I need to.
Oh,
So-
don't bother assigning some of those things like the hammer and stuff. Those aren't important yet.
New
Yeah, you
activity- No. I forget how to do this now.
Q.
Q. Now I assign the chair to Olives.
Yes.
And that will make it so that room now belongs to Olives.
And then you can make a room out of the table as well, make it like a dining hall, and then also give that to.
So should I auto allocate this to manager and bookkeeper then?
Is that an option?
That's a DF hack thing.
Oh,
but
Or just not
I
worry
would
about it?
say don't worry about that. Yeah, just
that I think that's just for if you're automating things to make it easier, so you don't have to keep track of who's who.
if I were to die, for instance, you
Yeah.
wanted to immediately replace me.
Okay, now when is Olives gonna go hang out in there?
Now I've got the only room in the fortress. Nice.
Okay, let's make a farm.
All right, farms are cool. So that's B for builds, and then P for plots. And then you can choose how big you want it to be with the U and the H and the K and the M.
B for build, P for plot.
You might be caught in a menu. If you're looking at the stockpile though. Go back a bit, maybe. Escape.
B for build, P for plot. Oh,
Yeah, you can increase the size to make it less terrible to place.
So you're going to want to delete that little 1x1 plot as well, because that's going to technically be a separate farm at the end.
how do I delete it?
So I believe that's under the Q thing, and then you should be able to just say, don't bother with that bit.
Yeah, if you select it with Q, I think it's then X.
P for build, P for plot.
There you are. You removed both of them, sadly.
I know.
Yeah, I think he's going to rebuild it so
Oh,
it fills
sure.
the full area.
Okay.
There we go, perfect. So, now once a dwarf has gone and done that, you now have a basically self-sustaining dwarf fortress.
Still have to plant seeds, but
Well, yeah, but
yeah, halfway though.
there isn't really anything else other than like a kitchen and a brewery that you need to do, and your fortress will just kind of self-sustain forever. And that's where you start like expanding into like, okay, I want to make cool stuff and make my dwarves rich and give them all bedrooms and nice fancy rooms and
Train a squad of elite wrestlers.
yeah, and set a guy in a trap where he pulls the lever and gets stabbed repeatedly.
To train his skills, yeah.
Yeah, so he gets to be the toughest dwarf around.
So when is somebody going to come build the farm plot? Or the farm?
Whenever someone's free who has the relevant skills.
Does anyone have the relevant skills? It started raining.
Someone should. Who is it? It's the, you should have one.
It's the guy who's marked as drunk, isn't it? Because
That's Olive.
he was...
Oh, no, it's not.
No, that's,
No, 2 idlers now. Somebody went to go do it? No. Of course they didn't. Nor did Olives ever go into his room.
I may have forgotten to give you a, farmer.
That seems bad.
It's okay. So farming isn't a skill that requires a basic skill level to start doing. All it means is that your guy will be kind of bad at it for a while until he gets used to doing it.
So if you want to make someone a farmer, it's just with V, you can select the units, and then find someone you'd like to be your farmer, someone who's not currently working, I guess. And if you press P for preference, no, it's one of these. P for P for preference, and then L for labor. And then it'll have a list of jobs, and then under farming / related, there's cooking. No, not cooking. Farming. Where's farming? Plant gathering, processing. Is that farming?
No,
the
it's
farming
not.
fields.
It's...
There we go. Yes, there. That's it. I definitely forgot to give you a farmer.
Farming. Plant farming fields.
Yeah, farming
Yeah, there you
fields
go.
is the one.
Get at it, Mike. So how do I get rid of these plants? Because I tried gather plants and it didn't do anything.
What are they? Press
Broad
K to
bean,
check.
peach tree sapling, dead broad bean.
Huh. I don't know.
Also this shit in the wagon that's still there. Like this
So
anvil?
that's all. Yeah, that's a bunch of stuff that doesn't have anywhere to live at the moment because it's not wood or food. It can kind of just sit there for the moment. Most of that stuff you'll use when building things later on. Like the anvil, you bought an anvil with you so that when you get to metal smithing, you can just build it because you've already got an anvil.
Okay.
If you didn't, you would have to like buy one off someone, and it's a right pain in the butt.
I think... What is with this cat? He's just sitting here. Lazy ass
chilling.
cat.
He's hunting.
Yeah, he's probably hunting for like bugs and stuff.
All those oh, actually that's a really good point. So those purple things in your food stockpile are dead like rats or dead lizards or whatever that will eat in your food that the cat has killed. If you'd like to move those corpses outside, or just have someone to dump your garbage, if you make a refuse stockpile, which is just a normal stockpile, make it outside wherever you want.
So that's Q. No, it's not Q. It's
P for pile, and then R for
R
refuse.
for refuse.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you had like rotten corpses all over the place, they would be pink clouds of bad stuff coming off the corpses. It's just
Nice, pleasant miasma that makes your dwarves ill.
Okay, now how do I plant seeds?
oh yes, that's important.
So it's the same as any workshop or anything. If you hit Q to go into the building menu stuff, and go over to the field. Probably for your first field, what you'll probably want it doing is just growing plump helmets all year round. Plump helmets are the only plant that grows in all the seasons, and is perfectly happy just doing so. So. Yes, so plump helmet, and then A, B, C, and D will let you change between the seasons so that you can assign, if you want different crops in spring and summer and autumn and winter. Certain ones I think dimple cups, ruin the soil, so you want to let a field go fallow after they've been in there and stuff like that. But plump helmets are the easy option. And we'll just grow all year round with no problem.
That's all I got right now, so.
That works then. So yeah, once that's assigned, he'll go to work and just plant them all. And yeah.
Where is my miner? Sleeping. Bryn, get on the...
Yeah. I can't work 24/7, screw you. Also, do I have a way in there? I can't tell what's going on with that soil.
Yeah? Oh no, there's tree roots.
Oh, okay.
Does that chop down trees?
I would assume that's the remnant of some tree roots that you have to cut through. I don't know.
I haven't dealt. Let's see. You just dig through tree roots, or you can just cut the tree. Yeah, you just dig through tree roots like you would normal stuff.
Yeah, so just designate dig. Yeah, there you go.
What is this?
Wow, look at me go, I'm quick.
Designate, gather, or whatever this is on the shrub.
So if you press Z, it'll bring up another menu where you can actually look at your stocks, for instance.
I need a broker with appraisal skill.
Oh, do you not have a...
Well, he just assigned...
That's for the wealth. You'll get a broker later. Once, because I've got no skill in brokering, that I can't tell you how much wealth the fortress has.
And also, all your estimations on food and stuff are exactly that, estimations, because your bookkeeper doesn't have the skills necessary to give you exact numbers. As he gets better, that number will get more and more accurate.
You can force it to be more accurate and then have more time spent by if you go into the nobles menu with N, select bookkeeping S with settings, and then you can have high precision, but it'll take more time.
Let's see what other things
also,
can
now
I build.
So now that you've got that manager as well, you can use the manager to assign jobs in general. Probably the next thing you should do though is build a kitchen and a still, so that you can turn that food that you're growing now into booze and nice meals, because those things are good for your dwarves.
They do work harder when they're happier.
And dwarves are never happier than when they're drunk.
Yes.
So how do I need to...
It's same as building the workshops. You build and then
W for workshops, and then it would be
W for workshop, and then K for kitchen, I think.
I think so. And then L for still. All the hotkeys are just memorization.
Or reading. It does give you the full list. It's
Yeah.
What do I need for a kitchen?
basically some wood, I believe.
You might have used all of the wood. No, you've got lots left.
I have a lot of wood.
So no, you don't need to like build anything in the carpentry. You just need to build workshop. So BW,
B,
and then look in that menu.
W, Z.
Ah, Z.
Ah yes, Z for kitchen.
Oop. Okay, and then A. Still, is that in here too?
Yes.
Still for L. Anything else while I'm here?
You could build another carpenter's workshop, maybe. You do have 2 carpenters. You get your stuff done twice as fast. Because you do need more beds and stuff if you want to start making your dwarves their own rooms, for instance. That'd make them much more happy to have a place to live other than just a public, bedroom.
At the moment, they're sort of laying side to side in a weird communal room that probably makes most of them fairly uncomfortable, I would think.
Yes, yes.
Also, if they don't have privacy, how are they supposed to get their bone on? Don't you want the pitter-patter of tiny dwarf feet?
K? Is that it? No, it's not K. It's W? No. To build a
no.
new...
A
new
camel
thing.
and a horse are starving, what?
They don't have their own pasture, that's why.
Yeah.
So you could assign the camel and horse to a pasture, or you could just eat the camel and horse and solve 2 problems.
For doing that, you would need a butchery so that
Yes.
you can chop them up.
Which is a good thing
So
to
I
put
need-
in your kitchen area, perhaps.
Except I've forgotten how to do that now. K? No, fuck.
So build with B, workshop with W, and then look through that list to find the type of workshop you want. In this case, a butchery.
Butcher's shop is U. And I also want another carpenter. So can I pull these beds up and make separate rooms?
Yes, you can. If you go into, what is it? Q and X to remove the building. You can remove both of the buildings or however many beds you have, and then make their own separate little, hideaways. Maybe doors. People like doors. You definitely have enough beds where you don't need to have them all sleeping in communal rooms. You just want a place dug out.
How do I cancel this?
D and then N. No, it's X. X for remove
X.
things you placed, like whatever.
So depending on how generous you want to be, your dwarves will quite happily live in like a little 2x3 room. It's plenty of space for them to have like a bed, a table, and like a little bit of space. It's not super important to give them like big rooms, as long as they can have the things they need in them.
15 minutes. 15 more minutes of this, and then I'm going to set up Kirby 64.
All right, cool. You've made good progress, I feel. I
So-
hope you feel you've learned something.
Yeah.
So what I'll
that
say
can't
is
be.
that you've basically at this point got a fortress that functions, because you've got a source of food. You can turn that food into alcohol, so your dwarves can eat and drink. You've got a protective wall, so nothing's going to come and kill you, like unless something big comes along. Like you at this point could just experiment and like figure things out. It's really the world is your oyster at this point.
Although the world is trying to kill you.
Oh yeah, it's trying to kill you, but enjoy it. It's fun. It's an adventure.
Now, what is this that they found? Birch roots. Okay.
The likelihood of roots killing the dwarves is not 0, but it's low.
Dwarves don't seem very smart.
They're
yeah,
intelligent
that's
in their own way. They did used to do things though, like carrying flaming alcohol back to alcohol stockpiles.
Ooh, that's a bad one. Oh, if they're on fire and they decide to drink some booze.
Oh yeah, if they're on fire and they decide to go for a drink and then bye stockpile.
Okay, I forgot how to pull up buildings now. Or how to pull up beds.
Oh, Q, and then mouse over, and then X. I'm glad no hippos came and killed you. I was expecting the worst.
Did a hippo kill you?
Yeah, they did some serious damage to my same fortress.
Well, the plus side of having those hippos nearby is that once you've got like a decent hunter, hippos give quite a bit of meat.
And everyone loves hippo horn necklaces as well. Who doesn't love?
Personally, I'm just excited for the hippo burgers.
I picked up extra beds at some point. Do I have somebody building beds?
You might.
You did have your guy assigned to repeatedly build beds for a while. It's possible he just built more than you needed.
And they're not building doors like I asked.
Oh, the door order is suspended with the S there. They are just not built.
Oh, I hit S instead of R.
So now that you've got a manager, you should be able to use the manager menu to just order stuff to be done as well.
Okay, how do I get in there?
M for manager. Wait, no, that's not true. What is the manager? Is it O? God, I don't remember.
If it's under something weird and I don't remember, it's been a while.
Shift. Key. That's Buzz. God, I don't remember at all.
I don't have the game installed at the moment, so I can't double check.
I really don't remember.
Hey, Ollie.
Pressing all the buttons and I just can't find it.
There should be some on the bottom and the top. I have the dog on.
J followed by M.
Oh, yes, there we are.
J.
Yep, followed by M.
M.
And then Q for new order. And then if you type in bed, it'll bring up all the orders with bed in it. Select that, and it's like, oh, I want 8 of them, 5 or whatever.
Okay.
And then your dwarves will do their best to attempt to accommodate your orders.
Well, the manager will have to go to the office and write that down, and then the dwarves will do it.
Yeah.
Mail? There's some in the cabinet. But in the middle shelf, maybe?
Okay, and just to say, make sure you remember that you can make those beds into actual bedrooms.
Yeah.
And then assign them to the dwarves so that they know that those bedrooms belong to them and aren't just rooms with a bed in them.
How do I do that again?
Q, because remember, any interaction with a built object, you queue up actions on it, and then R to make a room.
We don't have much of that left.
You're just in the store.
Yeah, I didn't know you were. I forgot you were doing this. We didn't get it. Q. Make bedroom.
If
Assign
you leave
bed.
your room unassigned, whoever doesn't have a room will come find it and take it. So you don't have to assign the rooms individually.
You also get fun later on in the game where the dwarven economy will kick in and dwarves will start having to pay rent.
Oh, that's long been disabled, sadly.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, that's not in it anymore.
What?
That came out at least a couple years ago. I know, I've been waiting for it a ton, but it went out, I think, with the 2013 version.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm working on very outdated information then. I'm sorry for lying to you.
It used to, though. It used to. You'd all have your dwarves be poor and homeless because they couldn't afford their own rooms.
Yeah. So you'd need a
Capitalism
dormitory again.
New fortress.
But then what you'd do is you'd make every new dwarf an engraver, and you'd build big like corridors that were just engraved with fancy engravings, so that your dwarves would be paid to do something. Oh, those were the days. Back when I actually got fortresses past 50 dwarves.
Some migrants have arrived. They look like birds.
Some new friends.
Yeah, so this is how you get more dwarves. Every year, more dudes will arrive, and they want jobs and beds and stuff.
Food. They put more of a strain on your economy, your resources. But there are more hands to work with.
Boy, I super don't know where I am.
If you press F1, it'll zoom back to
where you started.
Okay. Because I don't think I actually assigned things. Hi?
So the other big advantage of these new dwarves showing up is that they will have new skills. So if you go in to check the list of your dwarves, you can see I don't know, one of them might be a gem carver or something. And quite often those skills will be things that are useless to you because you don't have the resources they need to do that job. But sometimes they will be really handy and help your fortress grow and get better. Also now that because you've got more dwarves, you need more bedrooms, so
and more
that's
food,
fun.
And more booze, and maybe bigger. Eventually dying in hell. If you press U, it'll bring up a list of all your units, and then you can look at all of them from there. You can press V to look at how they're doing, check out how their moods are, what they want.
Okay, so how do I get to the manager mode?
J, and then M.
Q, because I would can I just make them build bedrooms?
Bedrooms or beds?
Both.
You have to put down the bed yourself, but you can make beds if you want. You just type in B and we'll just type bed. Get it.
So let's see. Units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've already forgotten.
Oh, you've got a
Jay?
baby. One of your dwarves is a baby.
Cute.
Cool it.
Bed. 8
No, you
beds.
cool it.
Yes. Oh, this place gets very nice in the autumn. Thought it was raining blood, but it's just leaves.
So no one has used the kitchen yet.
Oh, yeah, you have to queue up the kitchen. You have to queue up orders on it. You have to use that for all your workshop. So you can select like a simple meal or whatever, and just tell them to do it forever.
Repeat. Q. Brew drink from plant. Forever.
Dwarves like the booze quite a bit.
Butcher shop. Butcher dead animal? Or lie? Or should I just not
So-
deal with that yet?
You don't deal with that.
The butchered live animal, you can then say like, oh, go kill this horse that we're not using and make it into meat and things like that. So like that horse and camel that were dying because they didn't have anywhere to eat grass, you could go just eat them so they don't die. Because
So if they die from starvation, you don't get meat off them.
Yeah.
So if you want to eat them, you press
Capture live land animal?
No, it's Z, and then go into the animals tab, and then you can select who you'd like to slaughter. And you can also toggle pet availability, where animals, dogs, usually, people do not adopt dogs unless you tell them that it's okay to adopt the dogs. Cats adopt dwarves, while dwarves will adopt dogs. Because you can't say a cat is available for adoption. The cat has to choose.
So now I slaughter this one, the only camel.
Yes, and the horse too, I think. Oh, you can't slaughter the camel because it's a pet, I think?
No, I said available.
Okay, never mind. I'm looking at the one below it. Yeah, the lamb is the pet. Right, okay.
No, the
Yes.
horse is unavailable.
Yes. You should be able to eat the horse. Well,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. And then
Yeah, and
if
then
you have a
maybe
butcher,
shoot.
they will butcher them already. You don't do anything else. I'm not sure you have a butcher. It might be your doctor, which chases me.
Needs empty food storage item. So
Oh,
I
for
need,
the booze?
Yeah.
You need more barrels in that case. So you can make barrels at a carpenter's workshop.
Barrels are a really like strained resource a lot of the time early on because you need a lot of them.
So what kind of barrel?
I think
Wooden?
the
Just
carpenters make
wood,
whatever
just
wood.
wooden, and they'll make out of whatever you've got.
So I just have perpetual barrels?
Maybe order like 20, and then you should be fine for a while.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You can. The thing is, because it's so easy to make a new order like that, you can always just do it anytime. Yeah, your fortress is like running now.
So if you press U, it'll show you the list of units, and then you can select one with V, and then press Enter, and it'll show you all the moods, so you can see how you're doing. You know, see how your dwarves are doing, what they think. Always
How
good to
much
check
they
on
like
your dwarves.
living in whatever this place was called.
Yeah, romance knives or something. I forget.
Okay, it looks like we are running out of time here.
Alright.
Like I said, you've through the basics. You've got like the basic of a working fort. So good job.
I've
You now
struck
know how to play
talc.
dwarf fort.
Nice. Nice calc. Somehow you've dug? Yes. See it now.
A lot
Oh,
It's
of
a stone. You can make things out of stones. You
Yeah,
just
stone is a
make
useful
things more
resource to have. Also, if you carve a room out of stone, you can then smooth and engrave the walls, and it makes for a very nice room for important people.
Okay, and is there a way to save this?
If you press escape and then
Save game.
save game. There you are. You have Dwarf Fortress.
Was it as terrifying and confusing as you expected?
Not really.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay then, thank you for teaching. This is not even version 1. This isn't even version half.
There's no such thing as version half.
Well, 0.5.
What? That's not how that works.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It's exactly how it works.
This is 0.43.
Yeah,
That's 43.
that's a
Not
third
5.
That's a third of a way through 0.4. It's 2/3 away from
No.
0.5.
It's not 0.43. It's 0.43. It's the 43rd version of version 0.
I'm not sure. Dog left me.
Well, that's how computer numbers work, not like arithmetic numbers.
I don't think I believe you.
I mean, you
I
don't
think it
have to
actually
believe
is
me.
supposed
It's
to be
facts.
43%.
Are you getting
done,
hungry or
I
what?
guess.
Are you done with the...
It's not percent. It's the 43rd. So the first number is like your primary version number, and then the second number is like the iteration on that, and then the final one is like patches for like bug fixes and stuff. So this is like version 43.
Well, people got bored of...
Revision 5 or whatever, or 0.5 revision 2. I think that R2 is probably. Anyway, I'm gonna go now because you've dwarfed. Thank you for having me on to help out and stuff. I wasn't that helpful, but anyway, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me know when you want to do the Trudy Hall one if you were going to do that still.
The what?
The seat game?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
we'll
if that's still on
see
the docket.
We'll see if Studio's up for that.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, so I'm going to cut to this. Let's add a thing. Some text. Setting up N64. And I will be off doing that. I'm gonna leave the Dwarf Fortress music on though. Okay, I'll be back in a sec.